Tetairoa McMillian is one of my favorite prospects in this draft class. He's my number one rated wide receiver, and it's by a decent margin because I believe he's the true X factor for an outside receiver in this class. Not saying a slot can't be a 1, but you mainly want your 1 to be an outside guy. And Tet McMillian, I believe, can be that number 1 guy. So I'm here to talk about what team I think should draft him in the first round, what I think his skill sets are, and what he'll bring to the NFL level. Tet McMillian spent his entire college career at the University of Arizona. In back-to-back seasons, he had over 1,300 receiving yards and over 80 receptions. He had 8, 10, and 8 touchdowns his 3 years at Arizona. And he was a difference maker for Noah Fafita to find in open routes or just throw it downfield. Tet has very good body control and he tracks the ball very well in the air. He's extremely good in contested catches with his big 6'4" frame. He weighs in at 219 pounds at the scouting combine. He has a 31.5-inch arms and 10-inch hands. He's a big-bodied receiver, and he uses that length. He uses all that to his advantage. He knows how to box people out and get the ball. He high points the ball very good. But it's not just that. He has some good route running ability. It might not look like it because the offense was very one-dimensional with no Fafita. He is a smaller quarterback. He could only see so much of the field. But when you watch Tet McMillian, he was burning people. He was dicing people up at the line of scrimmage. He knows how to route run very good. He just didn't get to showcase as much because the offense had to be run a certain way. The other thing I'd add is he's a willing blocker. It's not that he's the best blocker in the world. I wouldn't say that. But he makes the attempt to block, which is a big theme for wide receivers on the outside, especially at the NFL level where teams want their wide receivers to block. Another thing I would add with Tet McMillian is his 40-yard dash doesn't really worry me. It's a 4.5. Yeah, he's 6'4". That's not really the biggest issue. It's not like he's 5'11". He is 6'4" and runs a 4.5. That's pretty effing good. And he plays a bit faster than that too, and he makes cuts on a dime very easily. He knows how to get and go. He's not really necessarily the big, lurking wide receiver that's just throw it to him, he'll catch it, he moves like a tight end. No, he plays like a wide receiver. He moves like a wide receiver. He can play some big slot, but mainly he is an outside guy. He is the type of guy that you're going to put up against a number 1 corner, and he's going to win at the next level. He has showed great progression at Arizona. He got better each and every year. Now you might say, well, his numbers weren't as good as junior year than sophomore year. Well, the entire Arizona offense wasn't as good. Different play calling and different schematics did change how he was viewed in the offense. Now, if you want to say, well, he only really went off in one big game against New Mexico. Fair. He destroyed New Mexico, and almost every receiver destroyed New Mexico last year. But if you watch all the games, especially against BYU and the teams that are very competitive, he was making the plays when he was open. He got the ball. Arizona's offense line was not good, not allowing no Fafita the time to spot McMillian, and Fafita is a little smaller, to get the ball to him. And also, he just had to make so many jump ball contested catches because Fafita was under a lot of pressure, and that's what McMillian had to do. And he excelled at that. McMillian is a guy who has sure hands and will be the number 1 option on his team sooner rather than later. Now, what team should draft Tet McMillian? I think that's the Carolina Panthers. And my reason why is Tet McMillian is used to playing with a smaller quarterback like Bryce Young and No Fafita, who I've mentioned a couple times, but also he needs big-bodied receivers to get the ball to. Bryce Young is going to have issues seeing his receivers. It's just a thing. It's a height thing. I get it. I'm short as well. If you have a 6'4" guy who is that lengthy, that tall, that noticeable, he is easier to spot and see downfield. And the Panthers did draft Xavier Legette, who I think Legette can be a good number 2, but I don't think he can ever be a legit one like McMillian. I think McMillian has all the potential in the world, and he reminds me a lot of A.J. Brown, to be completely honest. And I don't say that lightly because I loved A.J. Brown in the draft process, and A.J. Brown has even proven me wrong. I was high on him. I didn't think he'd be this good. But I see a lot of those traits in Tet McMillian. You can say A.J. Brown was a better route runner. That's very fair. I'd also say we didn't see Tet McMillian showcase the ability due to the offense he was in and how they had to structure his play. Now, if he develops into that, it would not shock me, because he has showcased the ability to become that level player. Also, the one thing I will say with Tet McMillian, he's just a physical guy. That's just something the Panthers need. They've been bullied. They've been pushed around. He is 6'4", and he plays like a monster at the wide receiver position. He's not some delicate wide receiver that's going to get jammed off the line of scrimmage and collapse. He's going to fight back and beat the cornerback, getting himself open in a big play opportunity, something the Panthers desperately need. And if you want him to develop a bit more, he'll be in the same receiver room as Adam Thielen, learning how to do the little things better and better every single week. And I truly believe Tet McMillian will become that X factor for whatever team drafts him, but especially in Carolina. My overall thoughts have been said throughout this video. Of course they have, because I have to talk about the player. I think McMillian is a beast. I think he'll be great at the next level. I am a little concerned with where he's going to be drafted. I've seen a lot of teams taking him high. I'm not sold on him as a Patriot, not because I don't think he'd pair up good with Drake May, but because I don't know how much he'd be getting the ball with Drake May getting killed behind a bad offensive line. Like the Chargers, and I love that instantly because Justin Herbert plays to his skill set. Tet McMillian can go downfield, and it would allow Tet McMillian to run more of his route tree because Herbert can see over the line of scrimmage. I also think he'd be good in a place like Seattle, who needs to replace DK Metcalf, and Tet McMillian has that skill set. I think we have looked at this wide receiver class with the fact that, hey, there's not an elite guy. There's not a Marvin Harrison Jr. There's not a Rome Odunze in this class. But there is. Tet McMillian is going to be a number one in the NFL. Just, he's not being discussed like that because the offense he was in, honestly. It's harder for a wide receiver to have great production, show an unbelievably amazing route tree with a smaller quarterback. It's just the case. It's why so many people slept on the Seahawks wide receivers for so many years with Russell Wilson. Doug Baldwin was a beast, but he could only do so much because Wilson couldn't see over the middle of the field. It's a similar issue we saw with Arizona and Noah Fafita. But when he saw Tet, and Tet was able to get the ball thrown to him, he made plays, whether it's contested catches, whether he's running downfield and keeping his stride while catching the ball and tracking it in the air. He just has that ability to be that guy. And I think he'll showcase it very early on in his career. I don't think this is a guy that's going to take a couple weeks in the season, maybe a couple months even, before he pops off. I think he's going to pop off extremely early and just be a monster. If you told me the Jaguars consider him top 5, I'd be all for it. Even the Giants at 3, I know that sounds crazy, but that's how much I love Tet McMillian, and I think he is an impact, game-changing receiver. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this video, I'd appreciate if you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 200 subscribers before the NFL draft. I'm uploading NFL draft content every weekday up until the draft, probably a little after. And if you'd share this, share the love of Tetairoa McMillian. I know I call him Ted a lot because I don't really have confidence saying his first name fully yet. But hey, please share it. I love this player. I think he's going to be amazing at the NFL level. And share this with your group chats, your friends, what have you. Just get more notice on Tet McMillian because he is that damn good at the wide receiver position. Just people aren't respecting the position enough in this draft class. But thank you very much for watching and have a great day.